A few days ago, I posted on Facebook and asked if you guys would be interested in learning how to do a kind of a messy fishtail braid tutorial. A few days ago, I posted on Facebook a picture of this kind of half up, half down fishtail braid with a lot of wave and body, and it is so beautiful. And I asked if any of you guys would want to learn how to do it. And a lot of you said yes, which I'm super excited about because I love this hairstyle. Not only is it super quick to do, but it's not very hard. So as long as you watched our fishtail braid tutorial from earlier on in the series, you'll have no problem doing this. It's really nice if you want to put your hair back, or if you are going on a date, or if you just want to do something that's a little bit more exciting than just putting your hair in a half ponytail and leaving. But once you know how to do it, you'll be excited about how easy it is, how quickly it goes, and it'll be another great hairstyle that you can add to your repertoire of everyday.
So the first thing that we do is just take a paddle brush and just make sure that your hair is completely free of any tangles. We don't want, to get our hands caught up when we're trying to do the fishtail braid. So just make sure that you are completely free of any tangles. Okay, so after you have no tangles in your hair, you're going to need a clear rubber elastic, and we are going to take almost like a fake half ponytail, bring it towards the back of your head, and then you're going to want to just split it in two sections. And after it's split in two sections, you kind of want to drop the middle part of each section down. So we're really just trying to get kind of the pieces from the side. Okay, so after you have those two pieces, you just marry them together. Take your clear elastic, you can probably do this with like a regular small black hair tie as well, and just tie them together. Because we left that middle piece out, it'll be easier for us to do the next step. So I know this seems kind of silly to not do, but you need to do it. So make sure you drop out those middle pieces, and then you take that middle section that we just dropped the hair out of and place your fingers in, so you're kind of making almost a V shape, and then you flip the half ponytail into the hair tie. So we're just kind of creating that nice little slight roll effect that we see in the original picture. So like I said, you just take your hair, section it out in two, almost like a V, and then flip that bottom hair into the hair tie. Okay, so now comes the most challenging part of the entire look, and it's not that hard, it's just kind of tiring. So you're going to do a very tight fishtail braid down the entire section of that half ponytail that you've just created. So the thing to keep in mind with this is you want it to be very tight. So we're using very small pieces of hair, crossing it over and making sure that we pull each side tight in between each crossover. So the same thing remains as if we did this on the side or if we did it with a full amount of hair. You take a piece from the furthest section away, see I'm grabbing that furthest piece and I'm crossing it over to the other side, joining it with the other side and then pulling tight, and then repeating the same step on the other side of the head. So taking side A, crossing it over to side B and pulling tight. Taking side B, crossing it over to side A and pulling tight. We want to make sure that we have a really tight fishtail braid, so we're doing really, really small pieces. The thing that I love about this particular look is that it's so messy. So it's a pretty forgiving look, which I think you've kind of noticed a theme in a lot of the styles that I do, is they're very forgiving because I don't like perfect looking hair. So I like when you can kind of make it your own, and plus it makes it easier for a beginner to learn to do this because there's kind of really no wrong way as long as you're following these same basic fundamental elements, which is kind of doing a really nice tight fishtail braid. But like I said, there's no perfect way. It gets tiring. That's the biggest downfall to this, is kind of having your hands in that position behind your head for 5 minutes. It gets a little exhausting, but don't give up. You got to just kind of keep up with it. Just don't stop until you're all the way down to the bottom of that hair. Okay, so I did something here that I don't want you to do. I pulled my hair to the side because my hands got tired, which is fine, but it makes it kind of curved because now your hands are going a different direction instead of going straight down. So don't do this. If you really need a break, just calm yourself down, take a second, and then pick it back up. It doesn't really take that long, but this was the second or third try of me doing this to make sure that I liked the way it looked, and by this time my hands were just so tired. So it ends up working out fine, but it's not as perfect as it would be if I just kept my hands in the back the entire time that I was doing it. So if your hands get exhausted, or you don't think you can do an entire braid with it behind, start with it to the side from the very, very beginning. But make sure that you're still maintaining a very tight fishtail braid. So we're still taking really, really small pieces and we're just crossing them over, pulling them tight, and then switching to the other side. That's all you're gonna do this entire time. If you can see, I still have a really tight fishtail braid. So if you're gonna pull it over to the side, just make sure that you're not giving up on the fact that you're taking very small pieces and pulling them over. Okay, and so now that you've done the entire braid, just take a second rubber elastic and wrap it around and make sure that it's nice and tight so that it's not going to fall out when we do this next step. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is take our curling rod and just add in some rough waves. This is not supposed to be perfect, it's not supposed to be exact, so just do it until you're happy with the result. I ended up doing most of the bottom section of my hair. This would also have been a really cool thing to do if you were on the second day of beach waves. So let's say yesterday you did a full beach wave hair and then today you wanted to pull it back. This would be a beautiful style because you'd have all of that big body on the bottom of your hair. But I'm just kind of doing a rough curl, just making sure that we have a little bit of body and a little bit of volume and it's nice and wavy. So then you take a little bit of a product that I really love. It's Sebastian Microweb Fiber, and you kind of just rub it between your fingers, and you see when you pull it apart, it almost creates like a web. It's like an elastic texturizer, and so you use it to like scrunch your hair and add volume, and it works really nicely because it keeps that shape super well. I really like this product, and it smells really nice, which I think you should know by now is one of my #1 qualifiers for a good hair product is how good it smells. So then you just kind of take it, run it through your hands, and scrunch it about. Okay, somehow this part ended up slightly blurry, but this is the easiest part of the entire thing, so it doesn't really matter. What you're going to do now is pull apart that really tight fishtail braid that you just did. So take it section by, or piece by piece, and you just pull it apart, just like we did in the fishtail side braid tutorial. You just pull it apart randomly. We're just trying to get it to look nice and big and thick and full. So just keep pulling it apart until you're happy with the result. I like mine to be as wide as possible, so don't worry about it going anywhere because we did it so tight, it won't move at all. It'll just nicely kind of break it up and loosen things out. So that's really all there is to it. You're just going to kind of keep pulling it apart. You can add more wave, add more curl, use a little bit more texturizing product to make it more voluminous. Really, it's completely up to you. The fun part is just having this like really interesting braid in the back. Makes it a little bit more exciting than just a regular half ponytail. But you know what I always say, make it your own. Do whatever you want with it, but this is kind of how I love the look.